Jesus needed to preach the gospel, but he needed a pulpit to stand, needed a platform to stand. Peter had the platform, Jesus had the crowd. Jesus did not say, I'm the savior of the world, let me speak. Vroom! Platform appear. Don't think Jesus could do that? Of course he can do that. That's to tell you that on the earth, partnership is real and it's important to advance your life. Jesus is only showing us what it means, what is obtainable on the earth. It is often said that no man is an island of anything. Once you become an island of a thing, you remain on your island. And if time is not taken, you might die on that island. We have heard of story of people in Western countries that died on their own island because they were there alone. So what he did was that he requested Peter's ship so that he can be able to fulfill his ministry, which was to preach to the people. Now, because Peter was willing to give his ship, what happened to him? Look at verse 4 and verse 5 quickly. 4 and 5. And when he had done speaking, see, he was already done with what he needed the boat for. He said to Peter, don't let me only use your boat. Now, let me also bless you. That's what we call partnership. It's called win-win. Are we together? It's called what? He's done using the boat. It's time for me now to give you mine. Because Peter did not know what Jesus carried. The same way sometimes when you limit partnership, you don't know how far it can limit or advance your life. After he was done speaking, he said, launch out into the deep, that you may what? Have that. Look at verse 5. Verse 5. Let's go quickly. And Simon answering, then verse 6. Go to verse 6. Verse 6. And when he had done speaking, in close word, multitude of fishes. And his net did what? Brack. So Jesus used his boat. Jesus gave him plenty fishes. So all his effort that was lost at night was recovered in less than 20 minutes. That's the first partnership. Now look at the next partnership. Look at verse 7. And he did what? Beacon to their partners. That's the second partnership that happened in that scripture. So Peter got so blessed that he looked at it. Oga, I know if he packed this in alone, let me call my partner to also help me to enclose this multitude of fishes. So it means that partnership is a continuous thing. Once you are selfish and self-centered, you'll be limited. And that's a fear that many believers are having. It's not common in the secular world because people in the secular world, they read a lot, they're exposed to knowledge, so they understand the power of partnership. But in the Christendom, we don't have time to read, we have time to pray more. So we are not exposed to some deep things that can help advance whatever we do. So here, Peter was not afraid that if I call my friends to help me with these fishes, they will pack everything and go and eat it. That was not on his mind. What was in his mind is how he can save these fishes from getting destroyed. And he said, a beacon which were in other ship, and they came and filled what? Both ships, so that they began to sink. That's partnership. If you want to advance anything in your life, you need strategic, not just partnership. Strategic partnership means that when you take a step, and you are almost hitting your loop end, there should be someone who can take it up from there. That's strategic partnership. It means that ahead of time, the person is already informed that you will need his service. That person is always waiting for you. If you don't have anybody like that in your life will be limited. Things in your life will be limited. So it's beyond praying, it's knowing how, and that's what I'm about to show you right now. Are we set for this? I want to begin with a question. The title is Securing Strategic Partnership. Let me see how far I can cover this in 30 minutes or less. Securing Strategic Partnership. I'll begin with this question. Will you settle with a 4-year project execution all by yourself? So I asked a question. I said, will you settle with a 4-year project execution all by yourself, or you settle with a 2-year project execution partnership with others? Which one will you settle for? Let me take it again. Will you settle with a project of 4-year execution all by yourself, or a project of 2 years execution in partnership with others? Why will you go for 2 years? Because the time frame is short, and that's the route many believers are caught on. They want to do it all by themselves. I want to do it all by myself, and it's taking you longer time to accomplish it. It's taking you years to accomplish it. Your business is supposed to have opened 3 outlets. You are still on 1 over the 5 years. When you're supposed to have brought in, I'm going to show you some deep things. I just pray you'll be able to implement them. Those of you that are in business, what you're supposed to have achieved in 3 years, you are still in 6 years struggling to do it. In economics, it's called division of labor. I mean, obviously remember that. It's called division of labor. Now imagine this question also biblically. How would Jesus have distributed food to 5,000 seated audience all by himself? Let's look up everybody. How would one man have distributed food to 5,000 seated audience in that congregation, if not that he had 12 disciples we will call partners? The Bible says Jesus told them, sit them in twos and give them one after the other. And those disciples spread it to over 5,000 people. One mysterious thing that happened in that scripture, the Bible says, as they shared the bread get multiplied in their hands. Remember, it was how many loaves of bread? 5, and 2 fishes. The Bible says, and Jesus gave it to them, and the disciples did what? Gave it to the people. So as disciples were giving it to the people, the bread was multiplying. That's a mystery there. That was the only thing. But Jesus employed the use of partners to advance his work. The same way when he was carrying out his ministerial assignment on the earth, there are places that Jesus could not get to. He used the 12 disciples to reach those areas. Remember the time when Jesus needed to ride on the ox? What did he do? He told one of the disciples, go to that place, get me that ox that have not been ridden on, just bring it. If they ask you, said the master needs it. Are we together? At the point when Jesus needed to pay his tax, did he go by himself? Didn't you think Jesus could call heaven to fall and money will rain down? Are we following me this morning? Jesus knew that I'm on earth. I must employ what makes things work on the earth. He told Peter, go to the sea. The first fish you will find, open the what? Open the mouth. You'll find coin to pay my tax and also yours. That's partnership. That's partnership. You can relate this to every area of your life. You may not have a business you are running right now. You can be an employee. You might be in a department where your own is just watching the camera, and there may be another person whose department is just taking note of customers. Your job as someone who is moving forward is to be learning how to meet needs of customers beyond you watching camera. Because there will come a time in your life you will need that skill. What when that skill is needed and the only thing you know is how to watch camera? And they said, therefore, we no longer need someone to watch camera. Camera can watch itself. I want to lose the job. So when we talk about strategic partnership, in a very simple term, it's a collaborative agreement between two parties. Please write it down. Strategic partnership means collaborative agreement between two partners. It can be an organization, it can be a company, it can be individuals, but it's called collaborative agreements. So the essence of this collaboration is not just to know people, it's not just to get related, it's to advance what you are doing. This word is common in the secular world. They say collabo. How many of you are familiar with that word? But you know that in the Christendom is a very rare term. Believers don't do things together. Do you know why? Fear, pride, jealousy, envy. You rarely will hear a believer say, let's do this together. What the other person is thinking is how to let that person come down below his level so that he will be looking up to him. And I've told myself, God forbid. I said, Lord, there's no how far you will lift me. Never will I ever see my partner be lower than me. We have people like that. They will never want you to be up to their level. They want you to be below them. So you keep looking up to them. But so in the secular world, they make use of collaboration. This one will sing with this one, and this one you did not know. In 3 months, you have heard of his name. That's partnership. You can do the same for your business. You can do the same for your career. There are people who knows what you don't know. Why are you wasting time and resources learning it again? Why don't you submit that area of your weakness to the one who knows? Gather his experience and use to advance your life. Simple. There are people who are good in keeping books. When you give them books to keep, oh my God, you will just be sleeping. Why don't you employ such people? Let them be doing your bookkeepings. Why you are following the money? Why you keep books and still follow money? You will lose money. Because if that woman or that man comes into your business, what you don't know is what they will use to siphon your money. That's why, if those of you that understand organogram, in established organizations, they have what is called chief. They use that prefix chief to retain the experience and the knowledge of people in an organization, giving them stake in that organization, making them a stakeholder. It means, Oga, you have an interest in this organization. If you steal from here, you are stealing from yourself. Therefore, you are a chief security officer. So as a chief security officer, your job is to protect this organization. You have a stake in this organization, 0.1%. You are a chief financial officer. You are chief operating officer. You are chief executive officer. You are chief HR officer. All this chief is not title. Is to help them to have sense of belonging. But those titles are not given to just ordinary people. People who have wealth of experience. Wealth of experience. And so when you bring them on board the organization, you discover that in 3 months, things has changed. They bring organization, strategies, structures, and like, wow, in 3 months, things has changed. Because the leader of that organization does not have such experience, and it's going to cost him a lot of money and time to employ the service of these people. Why don't you put such people in your organization and give them a stake? They become loyal to that organization till their death, and in their heart they keep advancing that organization. That's strategic partnership. And that kind of partner, because there are different types of partnership. There is what we call there's what we call okay, let me use another term so that you understand. I'm trying to get the real term. There's what we call involved thank you active partnership and sleeping partnership. That's the term I'm waiting for. So there are ones that they're active. They are the ones that are part of the day-to-day running activity. Those ones, they want to be the chief security officer. They want to appear in the office. They knot the tie. They want to be the chief. They are on salary, but they are also underlying partners. They are strong partners, but they still want to be an active. They want to know what comes in and what goes out. But there are some, they are just sleeping. But these ones, they don't care. Even like make 1 billion, that they are 2% of the 2 billion, let it come to them. They don't need your salary. So a partner can choose any form. What matters is that is involved. That's what matters. And that's why you watch organizations that are running with speed of time. These are the secret they're employing. There are churches right now who are also employing this secret. I can mention some of the names to you. For example, Elevation. How many of you know Elevation Church? I have sat down to study their organogram. They run their church as an organization. They have chief operating officer, chief executive officer, They have an admin. The admin resumes to office Monday to Saturday. Wear ties, drive car. They have a man in charge of electronics. That guy is an experienced media person. There's a guy in charge of anything wire, anything camera, anything media. These were not off and on. No, they are fully employed. So when you get to that kind of church, you hear Queen's English. Hello, can you sit down there? That lady has worked 10 years in bank. He can see anything that want to happen to the finance of the church. He can tell you in 3 years. Those kind of lady, they can help the church save 5 years. They are good, they are worded, they are intelligent, they are awesome, man. You need such people in your life. And some of you have them, but fear, insecurity, jealousy and envy will not allow you to bring them in. And that's why you discover that you will not be able to advance your life as you ought to advance them. You won't be able to do that. I have to show you all of this tonight, this morning, so that it is beyond what you are doing for yourself. You can employ the service of others to help you move whatever you are doing, even at your level. If what you are selling is pure water, why should you be the one producing the pure water and still be selling it? Why don't you look for somebody who will be producing it, you'll be selling? If your area is good at selling, you take over selling. Let somebody be producing it, so that the strength you are using to produce and sell, it can be focused on one. All the person to do is just to produce. You push it. You would have made triple of whatever you have been making before. That's strategic partnership. I don't know if it's making sense to you. In fact, before this church started, I'd drawn the organogram how the church will run. We're just with time, we're moving into them. That's why I told in this church, we are not in the ace to grow. We are growing with time. We are evolving with time, so that people can truly mention our growth process. I know when they were 50, now they are 100, now they are 1,000. We don't want to grow like just blow, boom. No, let our growth be in process, so that we can have track records and people can truly test about it. So after organogram, we're going to have a fully servicing admin of the church. She resumes to this church Mondays to Fridays. Saturday, she's here at 9 a.m., closes at 4. We have a person who's in charge of anything that has to, we call the person operating officer. Anything that has to do with operation of the church, the man is in charge. They are all on salary. We're going to have their office. I have drawn all this organogram. They are all stated. We're waiting for time to let them come into operations, because we're going to reach a point that even me as a pastor, there are many things I will not be able to do. I have an assignment, which is ministering of the word and prayer. I can't do many other things. You discover that these days I don't have time for slide again, because when I wake up at 12 a.m., I have 3 messages to prepare. Which time will I use to be preparing my slides? So I've been praying, Lord, I need a very good PowerPoint designer. All I need to do is just send me my slide. Okay, design it well. Send it to me as soon as possible. 3 hours to design PowerPoint. I can use that 3 hours to be meditating. And that's how things goes. So I'm going to share with you some of these secrets or strategies to secure strategic partners, because we all need it in our lives. We all need it in our lives. I've enjoyed a couple of them in my real estate industry, and I'm still praying to God for more of such. There are things I'm not even seeing, that they will just call me, Oga, are you not seeing this? I say, I did not see it too, but before it happens, we have secured it for you. We need them. Even me, I'm still growing to learn more, to get more of such partnership. Because if you know you have an assignment to the world, you can't do it alone. You need a lot of people. Men, and not just people. When I'm emphasizing people, I do not mean they don't have to be your friend. They don't have to be your family member. Look out for people who are good at what they do. Such people, you can trust your job in their hands. That this person, if I give him to do carpentry job, I will not have headache that they will not deliver it. Are we together? You need such people. People who have competence and they are excellent at delivery. The same thing in any other areas of your job. But at your level, sometimes you just have to use people who are available. Just use them. But you get to a point you can't just use any people again. You have to use people who are truly good. So number one, write down. To secure strategic partnership, you have to identify potential partners. I say identify what? Let me hear louder. Say what? So you have to identify potential partners. Look around you, look around your business, look around your ministry, look around your family. Who are the people who you know that if you get on with them, their plus or their one can advance your life? You have to search for them. This is beyond prayer. After you have prayed, you have to look out for them. Submit your pride. Starve your fear to death. Except if you don't want to advance your life, you want to be in control of everything you have. But if you truly want to move with the speed of light, start looking around you. Look beyond your shore. Sometimes the people that you went to school together when you were in primary school, secondary school, university days, look far. There's some of them you don't even have any connections with them. You just see the way the person is doing his things on Facebook. It's consistent with this same thing. Over the years, he's been doing this same thing. Why don't you work in partnership with this person? That skill that person have, if it's added to your business is made. Let the person know that if you can render this service to my business, you get 2% of every return that comes from it. And imagine that person is giving you 100 sales almost every month. Cumulatively, let's say you have 1 million, and before by yourself you have been doing 150, 200,000 a month, and now somebody brought his skill and you are doing 1 million. Will it be difficult to give the person 2% of that money? Except you are selfish. Because as some partners, when it's now time to give that money, that's when they're high, go there. It happens in real estate. A realtor have sold for you, made a sales of 100 million for you. To now give the person the 10%, you now say no. To 10 million of is not difficult. You say no. That's wickedness. So look out for them. Once you have people, employ them. Be in agreement. If you require a lawyer to sign, to put some document together, let the lawyer prepare a document so that both of you, there can be a binding agreement. And I always tell people, once there's an agreement signed, don't breach it. It can ruin your business, because if the person gets hold of it, it can demand anything from that your business, because you have defaulted in your own agreement, except if there's no written agreement and well signed. So I'm telling you as a church, please, before you sign any document, read it very well. There's some people right now, they have indicted and enslaved their 10 years to come unknowingly because they just signed. My staff, before I give them any document to sign, I explain to them what you are signing. I'm not unconsciously putting you into anything. Oh, please, I need to sign this, but why are you signing? I need to get something from the bank. That's why. I let them know why they are signing. I will not put you into something I cannot defend. So before you sign, no matter who is asking to sign, please read well. If you know you cannot read, tell them, please, I cannot sign. So that in 10 years' time, you will not be paying for what you don't know about. Number 2, understand the need for partnership. That's how you can secure it. Why do you need a partner? Why do I need someone to come to my business and help me push the sales? That means that if you need someone to put, that means you are not doing well in sales. Maybe you have been doing only 3%. Let's put it in a better figure. You have been doing only 300,000 in a month. And you see this brother, he's been doing over 300 million in sales. That means there's something he knows that you don't know. So that is the need why you need him. That's the need why it needs to come to your business. Are we together? That's the reason. So that need is what will propel you to defile all odds to get to know the person. Sometimes you have to pay your way to get it. It's even from you, it's even from lobbying or bribing your way. Pay your way sometimes that you may have to attend their trainings and pay to get access to them. I got one 2021. I paid 130,000 to attend a one-day conference in a coat and suit to get one man that opened me up to access of what brought for licensing. Because the information he shared with me when he got to US on a 31-hour Zoom call opened me up to the possibility of that project. So there are times you have to just pay your way to ensure you get access to that person. It might be one-time payment, it might be 3-time payment, but there's a need why you need this person. That's all. Don't say 150,000 one-day event. Okay, you better let 150 go and make 100 million. I'm still thanking God I met that man, and I thank God I attended that conference. 130,000 has brought over, in fact, the glamour, the glory that Lightstick Bungalow has brought to my business and to myself. No developer in this side of Lagos has it, because one access opened everything up. One access. So find the need for partner. Number one, what now? We're going to number 3 right now. Create a compelling value proposition. Create a compelling value proposition. When I mean value proposition, there must be a clear and concise value proposition. Why do I need this thing? Let that objective be clear. Let it what? Let it be clear. Let it be very, very, very clear. What I mean clear is that while we are bringing you on board, we want you to redesign this phone, and so that each time people sees it, they can quickly buy it. But the phone looks good already, but we know that with your experience, those of you that are familiar with news and you're watching news, discover that they will say Nokia employed someone from iPhone. Why are they? Because that guy has been doing something for iPhone for the past 15 years. Bringing that guy to Nokia will shoot the sales of Nokia in space of 6 months, because he's bringing his knowledge of 15 years to Nokia. A man has been working in Honda, and a new company, motor company just opened. They brought the guy on board. Just leave it, but let that objective be made clear. Okay, what we need to do is to refurbish this phone so that it will look just relatively like this. Once it's there, forget it. The same way, don't just bring anybody onto your business and say, oh yeah, now come and help me run things. Don't come and run things. Let the value proposition be clear and let the person know, so that when the time for dividend comes, there's no disagreement. There are a lot of things, but I'll just stop at number 5. Number 4. Create negotiation terms. That's very important. Create negotiation term. Let the person you are bringing on board knows what is in it for him or her. Don't just say, okay, if you do it, I will give you this. Let it be in a written term. If you do A, B, and C, what you get is X, Y, Z. Let your negotiation be solid. Don't give someone so much that you won't be able to deliver. And don't be bought over by whatever anybody is saying to you. Someone who wants to come into your business, have every reasons to come into your business, you must have seen what your business can deliver in 3 years from now. He can tell you, I can blow your business, I can blow your sales, that in 10 years you'll be doing almost $1 billion US. Wow, it's possible. All I need to do is just give me 20%. My someone is asking 20% of your whole company. That's almost everything about your company. You don't sign to such contract. You need your lawyer to check the nitty-gritty of such kind of agreement, so that you have not sold your entire future. The highest anybody should have in your company, from what we have read, max 5%, max 10%. Never give one person 20% a stake in your organization. Imagine if you have 4 investors and you're giving them 20%. You are gone. As a founder of any organization, hear it from my mouth, you can read online about it. You should not have less than 50% of a stake of your organization. Once you have less than 50%, you are no more the founder or the CEO of the organization. Dangote still owns the highest share in Dangote. He has almost 70%, if I'm not mistaken. He still has the highest share. Despite all the money he's borrowing from anywhere, he can give somebody 2%, 1%, but he still has the highest. That one man, so full of wisdom, he still has the highest. So every agreement you're making, ensure that money matter. Check it very well, because when your business grows, it might not make sense to you right now, but imagine when you are turning in billions. That 20% will not make more sense to you, but you can't change it again. It's already been signed. And there's some partners, they are so rigid. They say, "Okay, I'm not selling my shares. I can't bother about this." There's what we call dilution of shares. We can't go into that right now. But no, leave it that way, because they know what is in for them. The last one, then we'll pray. Implement and maintain communication. Implement and maintain communication. Ensure that every agreement that have been signed is well carried out and monitored. And always ensure you create regular communication with your partners. Don't just leave your partner to run things. There should always be weekly communication. What has he done? What has he achieved? Because every achievement is tied to something he's going to get. If he has not achieved it, then he does not deserve it. Don't leave a partner to run everything. Always check them. My leaders in this church knows, when I give an assignment, no matter how busy I am, I check what you are doing. My spirit is checking. Physically, I'm also checking, because I must see that you have carried out the instruction I give you to the last letter. That's when I can trust you. So the same way, when you have partners in your business, constantly monitor what they are doing, whether you are in abroad, or just ensure you keep monitoring it, so that what they are employed to do is what they are. There are some partners, once they get a foothold into the organization, forget it. They become a stronghold, and some of them, they become principalities and powers. Their objective is to take over your organization. If you are not careful, they meet your lawyer and redesign the agreements and sell you out of that your business. So if you know you cannot monitor, don't bring them on board. There are some of them, they are super intelligent. Their IQ is not part of this world. We have them like that. There are very few of them. There are some of them. Let me give you this phone, and then we'll pray. A church in there's a church, I think it's Christ Embassy, had a pastor to pastor one of their church in Ghana. Very big church. And then after some while, the pastor went, meet the lawyer and everything. They changed the name of the church, changed his own name, changed all the agreement, everything. He has forgotten that the set man already have the real agreement with him. They drag the matter so long. They drag it. The man taught me, because he's an indigenous of Ghana, the law will favor him. He has done everything, but the law is a law. It can't be changed. It might take 3 years, but eventually it was found that Pastor Chris actually founded that church. But though he was part of the founding member, but he was the real founder, and his name, Pastor Chris, was the founder, not him as the founder of the church. But the man substituted his name as the founder, and he bought the entire thing to himself. After the man was take off, I think he was jailed or something. So there are people like that. So it's not only in business, even in church. We We have heard some pastors who changed the Redeemed Church to their own name. Some of them have gone with it, some did not go well with them. So it's not only in the secular world, in the church, people change things because you have given them a foothold. They can turn it to a stronghold. I'd like you to bow your head. Lord, send me strategic partners. I need to advance my business. I need to advance my life. I need to advance my career. I need strategic partners. I know some of us will say, I'm doing well. But I tell you, beloved, you can do better than what you're doing if you have the right people around you. You need a good sales rep. You need a good designer. You need someone who can speak well for you. You may not be a good spokesperson. You can have someone who can speak well. Anytime you're having a presentation, let that lady speak for you. Let that man speak for you. You have something to write. You have someone who is good in writing. Why should you write? Let that person write on your behalf. Your name is what will be there. Lord, send me strategic partners. In my business, I need strategic partners. In my life, I need strategic partners. Lord, plant them all the way to the top. Plant them for me. Let the choir get on stage. Strategic partners.